Samantha's phone lit up at 3 in the morning, and I saw the name Lisa, work, on the screen. It wasn't that I was spying. I'd just woken up thirsty and she'd left it on the nightstand. The message disappeared in a second, but I managed to read, "Last night was insane, but mum's the word, right?" My heart didn't pound. It didn't ache. It just froze, as if someone had pressed pause on my entire life. Samantha was sleeping next to me, an arm thrown across my side of the bed. Her hair was spread across the pillow. Her breathing was even. In the screen's light, her face looked like a stranger's. I picked up the phone. My fingers were trembling, not with anger, but with that cold, clinical realization that I was about to cross a line, that after this, there would be no more before. Face ID didn't work. She was asleep. I knew the code. She never hid it from me. "We trust each other, Jake," she used to say, kissing me on the corner of my mouth. The thread with Lisa was short. 2 hours ago. "OMG, I can't believe you did that. Mark is hot, but what a risky game." Samantha's reply, "I know, I'm drunk and stupid. Delete this." Then, deleted. "But are you okay? Your husband won't find out, will he?" Your husband. A chill crept down my spine. I scrolled up looking for context, but the previous messages had been deleted. Only these were left. Samantha probably hadn't managed to erase everything before passing out. I opened the gallery, scrolled back to yesterday. She had said she was going to a bar with colleagues after work. "I'll be back at 11, midnight at the latest." She showed up at 1, with smudged mascara and the smell of gin. A photo, Samantha at a bar counter hugging some girl. Another, her clinking glasses with someone. Another one, the blurred face of a man, dark red hair, his shirt unbuttoned 2 buttons down. His hand was on her waist. She was smiling, not her usual smile, but one I hadn't seen in years. Excited, alive. The next photo was a selfie in an elevator, mirrored walls, neon lighting. She was alone, but her lips were swollen, her hair disheveled. The timestamp, 11:47 p.m. The location? I opened the map. The Riverside Inn. Hotel. My heart hammered so hard it became difficult to breathe. I opened Google Maps, our shared location access. She always let me see where she was. "For safety, Jake, so you don't worry." I clicked on her timeline for yesterday. 10:17 p.m., office. 10:34 p.m., McKinley's Pub. 11:41 p.m., Riverside Inn. 12:53 a.m., left there. 1:12 a.m., our house. 2 hours. She spent 2 hours at a hotel. I sat on the edge of the bed with her phone in my hands, staring into the darkness. The same thought spun in my head like a broken record. It couldn't have been Samantha, my Samantha. But the numbers don't lie. The map doesn't lie. She stirred, mumbling something in her sleep. I placed the phone back, exactly as it had been. The screen went dark. I didn't sleep. I just waited for the dawn, while something cold and heavy churned in my stomach, like I had swallowed a stone. In the morning, she woke up refreshed, as if nothing had happened. She smiled at me, kissed me on the shoulder. "Good morning, sweetheart." I brewed coffee. My hands weren't shaking. My voice sounded normal. "How was the party last night?" She stretched, yawned. "Boring, honestly. Lisa got drunk. Kevin was telling the same old jokes. I got tired and just came home. Straight home. No stops." I nodded, poured her coffee. "Was Mark there too?" She froze, only for a moment, but I noticed. Her fingers lingered on the cup. "Mark? Who is Mark?" "I don't know." I stared into her eyes. "I thought you'd tell me." Her face remained calm, but I saw her shoulders tense, her breathing change. "Jake, what are you talking about?" "About Mark, with the red hair. From the Riverside Inn." She froze with the cup near her lips. A second. Two. Then she slowly set the coffee down. You checked my phone. Not a question. A statement. Yes. You, her voice wavered, you had no right. I have your geolocation, Samantha. You gave me access, remember? For safety. And yesterday at 11:41 p.m., you entered the Riverside Inn hotel. You left at 12:53 a.m. 2 hours and 12 minutes. You have 30 seconds to tell me the truth before I go there myself and find out everything from the front desk. Her eyes filled with tears. Real? Fake? I no longer knew. Jake, it was nothing. A drunken mistake. It meant nothing. Who is he? No one. A guy from the bar. I don't even know his last name. You're lying, I said quietly. You have his photo. He has his arm around your waist. You're smiling like it's the best moment of your life. She covered her face with her hands. Her shoulders shook. He works in the marketing department. We sometimes ran into each other at meetings. He was at the bar yesterday and we started talking and I don't know how it happened. How? My voice was stiff. Did you accidentally get lost in a hotel? Accidentally get into an elevator? Accidentally undress? She cried out as if I had hit her. Don't say that. I didn't mean to. It just happened. 2 hours doesn't just happen, Samantha. That's a conscious choice. Dozens of decisions. Every minute, every second. You chose him over me. She was crying. Real tears, real sorrow, but all I felt was coldness. His last name, I said. Now. Jake. Mark's last name. She wiped her face, her voice barely audible. Fenton. Mark Fenton. I took out my phone and Googled him, found him in 10 seconds. LinkedIn, a photo from a corporate event. Title, Senior Marketing Manager. Married. Wife, Caitlin Fenton, a yoga instructor. Did you know he was married? Samantha was silent. Samantha, did you know? Yes, she whispered. Yes, I did. I stood up, put the phone in my pocket. I'm going for a walk. When I get back, I want you to have packed your things and gone to your mother's. Jake, please. I don't want to see you. Not today. Jake! I walked out of the kitchen. She rushed after me, grabbing my arm. Jake, give me a chance. I'll fix it. I'll do anything. It was a mistake. I looked at her fingers on my wrist, the same fingers that had touched another man only 12 hours ago. I pulled my arm free. The only mistake here is that I'm still talking to you. The door closed softly. I didn't slam it. The anger would come later. Right now there was only emptiness, deep, all-consuming, as if something inside me had died and I had only just realized it. I drove aimlessly, just drove until I found myself in the parking lot of a shopping center outside the city. I turned off the engine and sat, watching people go in and out of the stores. They were buying groceries, laughing, talking on the phone. Their lives were continuing. Mine had stopped somewhere between 3 in the morning and 7 a.m. The phone rang. Samantha. I'd declined the call. She texted, Jake, please talk to me. Then another, I love you. This doesn't change anything. And another, I can't lose this. I can't lose you. I locked the screen. Mark Fenton. I opened his LinkedIn again. Smiling face, confident pose, specializing in strategic brand promotion and building long-term partnerships. His status listed, married to Caitlin Fenton. I clicked on her profile. Light curls, calm eyes, a photo from some charity event. Bio, teaching people to find balance, believing in honesty, kindness, and conscious living. Conscious living. And her husband was sleeping with my wife in a hotel room. I hit send message. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. What would I say? Hi, I'm a stranger, but your husband cheated on you last night with my wife. It sounded crazy, but she had the right to know, just like I did. Good afternoon, Caitlin. My name is Jake Thornton. I need to speak with you about your husband, Mark. This is important. Please call me when you can. I added my number and pressed send. A reply came 10 minutes later. Who are you? What happened? Is Mark okay? He's fine physically, but we really need to talk. Better in person. I can drive to you, or we can meet in a public place, whichever is more comfortable. The ellipsis blinked for a long time. Then, Maple Street Coffee at 2 o'clock. I'll be wearing a blue jacket. Caitlin was taller than in the photo. She sat at a table by the window with a cup of tea in her hands. When I walked in, she recognized me immediately. She must have Googled me too. Jake? I nodded, sat opposite her. Thank you for agreeing to meet. She didn't smile. You scared me. What's going on? Did Mark do something? I took out my phone, opened a saved screenshot of the bank statement, placed it in front of her. Your husband rented a room at the Riverside Inn hotel last night, room 214. He wasn't alone. Caitlin stared at the screen. Her face was expressionless at first, then slowly went white. With whom? With my wife, Samantha. She looked up. There were no tears in her eyes, only a cold, burned-out emptiness. Are you sure? Yes. How do you know? I told her everything, about the message from Lisa, the photo, the conversation this morning. She listened motionless, holding the cup with both hands. When I finished, she was silent for a long time. Then she said quietly, he said he was working late. Came home at 2 in the morning, said he was exhausted and just crashed. He lied. Yes. She put the cup down. Obviously. We sat in silence. Around us, the clinking of dishes, laughter, someone's conversations about the weekend. Two strangers who had just learned that their lives were a lie. What are you going to do? She asked. Get a divorce. She nodded. Me too. Then she suddenly added, I'm pregnant. It hit me. Caitlin. 9 weeks. I found out a week ago. He was so happy. We celebrated. He cried with joy. She laughed, a short, painful sound. And then he went and slept with your wife? I didn't know what to say. She wiped her eyes with the palm of her hand. It's just, her voice broke. God, I'm such an idiot. You're not an idiot. We both trusted the wrong people. She nodded, took out her phone. I'm calling him now while you're here. Are you sure? If I don't do it now, I'll change my mind, and I don't want to spend another day living a lie. She dialed the number, turned on the speakerphone. Mark answered after the third ring. Hi, my love. What's up? His voice was cheerful, carefree. I clenched my fists. Mark, where were you last night? A pause. At work. I told you. Why are you asking? Don't lie to me. Last chance. Kate, I don't understand. Where were you? Silence. Then, what's going on? Did someone say something to you? Riverside Inn Hotel, room 214. Does that ring a bell? I heard him swallow. Kate, a man named Jake Thornton is sitting with me right now. He just told me how his wife Samantha was screwing you in a hotel room last night. Do you have anything to say? Mark was silent. The silence was deafening. Mark? It was... His voice trembled. Kate, I was drunk. It didn't mean anything. Don't you dare. Caitlin's voice turned icy. Don't you dare blame her. You made the decision. You paid for the room. You took off your pants. You chose this. Kate, please. I'm pregnant, Mark. 9 weeks. I found out a week ago. You were happy. We celebrated. You cried with joy. And then you went and slept with another woman. I could hear him sobbing. Kate, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I love you. I love our baby. I'll fix this. Get your things out of the house by 6 this evening. If you don't make it, they'll be on the street. And find yourself a lawyer. Mine will call you tomorrow. She hung up, put the phone on the table. Her hands were shaking. It's done, she whispered. I handed her a napkin. She took it, but didn't cry. She just sat and stared out the window. "Thank you," she finally said, "for telling me. Many people wouldn't have dared. You deserve the truth." "So do you." We exchanged numbers, agreed to stay in touch, not as friends, but as allies in a war we hadn't chosen. As I walked out of the coffee shop, my phone rang. Samantha. Again. This time, I answered. "Jake, where are you? Please come home. We need to talk. I just met with Caitlin Fenton." Silence. "You what?" "Mark's wife. Told her everything. She's kicking him out of the house right now." "Jake, why the hell did you do that?" I stopped in the middle of the parking lot. "Are you serious? You're serious that you're mad at me right now? You ruined their marriage." "No, Samantha, you and Mark did that. I just made sure the truth got out." "You had no right. I had every right. Just like she did. We both deserve to know who we're living with." She cried. "Jake, please, let's just talk. I can explain everything. There are no explanations that can change what you did. I'll do anything, therapy, counseling, whatever, just don't leave me." I closed my eyes. "I've already called a lawyer. The divorce papers will be ready by the end of the week." "Jake!" "Goodbye, Samantha." I hung up, blocked the number, and drove home to pack her things. When I opened the door, the house was empty. Samantha had only taken a bag of clothes and a makeup kit. Everything else, the photos on the walls, her books on the shelf, even the mug that said "Best Wife Ever" that I gave her for her birthday last year, was left behind. As if she hoped to return, as if this was just a temporary break from our life. I started with the closet. I folded her clothes into boxes, methodically, without emotion. Sweaters, jeans, dresses, each item a memory. The blue dress she wore to our wedding reception. The college sweatshirt she stole and slept in. The perfume I gave her for Christmas. I didn't cry. The anger came later. Somewhere between her shoes and her jewelry. Sudden, explosive. I grabbed a framed photo, the two of us on the beach, her kissing my cheek, and barely stopped myself before smashing it against the wall. Instead, I carefully put the photo in the box, face down. My phone chimed, a message from an unknown number. "It's Caitlin. Mark picked up his things, tried to apologize. I didn't open the door. How are you doing?" I took a picture of the boxes filling the living room. "Tacking her life. Turns out 5 years of marriage fits into 9 boxes. The reply came quickly. 7 years into 13, plus the dog. He wants to keep the dog. I told him to go to hell." I unexpectedly smiled. The first time all day. Keep the dog. He forfeited that right. That's exactly what I said, plus a few other words I won't repeat. The lawyer, Robert Chen, was a wiry man in his 50s with gray hair and the weary eyes of someone who has seen too many broken families. "So," he put down his pen after I had told him everything, "adultery, evidence exists, no children together. Do you have joint property? The house, titled in both our names. Who made the down payment?" "I made the initial down payment, but we split the payments equally." "Other assets?" 2 cars, both paid off, a joint bank account, about $30,000. Retirement accounts are separate. Robert nodded, making notes. "In Washington, property division is fair, not equal. Given the circumstances, the infidelity, the fact that you had evidence and acted quickly, there's a good chance for a favorable settlement, especially if she doesn't want to drag out the process. She's already calling, 10 times today. Texting that she wants to talk. Do not speak to her without me, or without recording the conversation. Whatever she says can be used. People under pressure say strange things. I blocked her number. Smart. But be prepared for her to try to contact you through others, friends, relatives, colleagues. In these cases, it's standard tactics." He was not wrong. That evening, Samantha's mother called me. "Jake, it's Deborah. Samantha's with me. She won't stop crying. What happened between you two? Didn't she tell you? She said you argued, that you suddenly demanded a divorce. Jake, she's my daughter. I know couples go through rough patches, but divorce is not the answer. You need to— Deborah, I interrupted gently, she cheated on me with a married man in a hotel. I have proof. And she lied to my face the next morning. Silence. Then, she what? Ask her about Mark Fenton. Ask her about the Riverside Inn. Ask her why Mark's wife is also filing for divorce right now. Oh my God, Deborah's voice broke. Jake, I didn't know. She didn't say. Of course she didn't. But now you know. And you know what? I'm sorry. I truly am sorry this happened. You were a good mother-in-law, but I can't stay with someone I don't trust. But she's remorseful. She's devastated. Yes, she's remorseful because she got caught, not because she's truly sorry. Big difference. I hung up. Blocked her number too. 3 days later, Samantha came for her things. I had warned her with a text from a new number Robert gave me. Saturday, 10 a.m. Take your boxes and leave. I will be absent. But I didn't leave. I sat in my car across the street and watched. She arrived with her mother. She looked awful. Eyes swollen, hair pulled into a messy ponytail, thinner after 3 days. They loaded the boxes into the SUV. Deborah went to the door, knocked, waited. Realizing I wasn't there, they continued. When Samantha picked up the last box, she paused, looked at the house, our house, for a long time. Then she got into the car and put her head on the steering wheel. I could see her shoulders shaking. Part of me wanted to get out, to hug her, to tell her it would be okay. But the bigger, wiser part knew the truth. Nothing would be okay. Not with her. Not after this. 20 minutes later, they drove away. I went into the house. It felt different, roomier, quieter, emptier. But for the first time in a week, I could breathe. A month later, I was sitting in the same coffee shop on Maple Street. Caitlin was opposite me, with a more noticeable bump and a calmer face. You look better, I said. So do you, she smiled. The divorce is going quickly. Mark didn't argue, signed everything I proposed. I think he finally understood that he lost. Samantha is still trying to reach out through mutual friends. One even told me I was cruel, that she made a mistake and I wasn't giving her a chance. What did you say? That he's welcome to forgive his wife if and when she ever cheats, but I'm choosing myself. Caitlin raised her cup. To choosing yourself. I clinked my mug against hers. To new beginnings, and to trusting your instincts, even when it hurts. We drank in silence. It started to rain outside. Light, spring rain. People ran to take cover under awnings, laughing. Life was continuing. You know what's the strangest thing? I said. I don't miss her. Us, yes, who we were, what I believed in. But her? The person she turned out to be? No. I get it. I don't miss Mark either. I miss the stability, the certainty of having someone next to me, but not him. Your child will have a good mother. And you'll be a good father if you ever want kids, she smiled. Because you know what real love is. And real love doesn't destroy, it builds. I nodded. For the first time in months, I felt something akin to hope. 3 months later, the documents were signed. The house was sold, the money divided. I rented an apartment downtown, small, but mine, without memories. The last message from Samantha came the day the divorce became official. I know you don't read my letters, but I want you to know, I truly regret it. Not because I was caught, but because I lost the best person in my life. I hope you'll be happy, Jake. You deserve it. I didn't reply. I just deleted the message and blocked the last number she had texted from. That evening, Caitlin invited me to dinner, thanking me for the support. We sat in a small Italian restaurant, ate pasta, and told each other stories about the future, not the past. Did you ever think that after the worst day of your life, you'd be sitting here laughing? She asked. No, I confessed. I thought it would break me, but it didn't. No, because I realized the most important thing. They took the past, but the future is mine. Caitlin reached her hand across the table. I squeezed her palm and didn't let go right away. Neither did she. Thank you, she said softly, for telling me the truth that day. We both deserved the truth. The waiter brought dessert. We shared tiramisu, and she talked about how the baby was starting to kick. I listened, looking at her face in the warm candlelight, and suddenly realized I was okay. Not because I had forgotten the pain, but because next to me was a person who understood it. Can I say something? She leaned closer. It's going to sound strange considering the circumstances, but I'm glad we met, even like this. Me too, I answered honestly. Her fingers were still resting in my palm. Jake, I don't want to rush anything. I'm having a baby in 4 months, and you've just come out of a divorce, but she smiled shyly. If you ever want to talk, or just sit in silence, or go somewhere. I'd like that, I said before I could second-guess myself. Her smile widened. So, maybe next Friday? There's a new Korean restaurant. Next Friday, I nodded. When I drove her home and returned to my apartment, the apartment greeted me with silence. I reheated leftover coffee, sat by the window. The city twinkled with lights. Thousands of lives, thousands of stories. My phone vibrated. A message from Caitlin. Thanks for dinner. Hope you made it home okay? I smiled. Yes. Sleep well. See you Friday. 3 dots. Then, see you Friday. I put the phone down and looked at my reflection in the window. The same man who stood here 3 months ago, but different. A little older, a little more tired, but alive. Somewhere, Samantha was living her life. Mark was living his, and I was living mine. Not perfect, not without scars, but mine. And for the first time in long months when I went to bed, I wasn't thinking about what I had lost. I was thinking about what was yet to come.